Fixture versus personal property. Whether you're buying or selling a home, you need to understand the difference. Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Lindsay with the Wise Move AZ team at Realty ONE Group. If you want to stay up to date on all things Anthem and real estate, then you need to hit that subscribe button. Pro tip, you're also going to want to hit the little bell icon so that you're the first to know when our new videos are posted every single Thursday. As your Anthem, Arizona realtor, I know without hesitation that there is some serious confusion about what's considered a fixture, what's personal property, and why it all matters. And trust me, it matters. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what stays with a house, what doesn't, and what to do when there's confusion. So stick around. So let's start with the most important question first. Why do we care what's considered a fixture versus what's considered personal property? We care because as a general rule under the Arizona purchase contract, fixtures stay with the house while personal property does not. This means that if you're selling, you need to leave any and all fixtures behind. As a buyer, you need to pay close attention to make sure that when you're looking at houses, you're not falling in love with items of personal property. Your new home may look a lot different once the seller has removed all of their personal items. Now, if you've heard me say it once, you've probably heard me say it 100 times. Everything in real estate is negotiable for the right price. So, of course, items of personal property can be written into the contract and fixtures can be excluded, but only if mutually agreed to by both the buyer and the seller. That being said, if the buyer is obtaining a loan to purchase the property, the inclusion of personal items in the purchase contract can cause problems when the loan goes into underwriting. I always recommend that any negotiations around personal property be finalized with a separate bill of sale. It's quick, easy, and won't cause any problems for the loan. If there's nothing special written into the contract and there's no separate bill of sale, all parties must proceed under the assumption that fixtures stay and personal property goes. Capiche? Next, let's talk about what's considered a fixture. As I mentioned before, this is and continues to be a great source of confusion for buyers and sellers. But guess what? In Arizona, the standard purchase contract that your realtor provides gives a very detailed list of what's considered a fixture. Yep, lucky for us, lines 39 to 67 are written specifically to make this easier. Let me read you exactly what it says because it's really well written. For the purposes of this contract, fixtures shall mean property attached / affixed to the premises. Seller agrees that all existing fixtures on the premises, personal property specified herein, and means to operate fixtures and property, i.e. remote controls, shall convey in the sale. Then, just in case that wasn't clear enough, they go on to list things that are considered fixtures. Built-in appliances, ceiling fans and remote controls, central vacuum, hose and attachments, draperies and other window coverings, affixed fireplace equipment, floor coverings. I always think that there has to be a reason that a rule was written in the first place. Can we just take a second to think about this one? I mean, with some seller like, yeah, I know they bought the house and everything, but I'm just gonna take this hardwood floor with me to my new place. People, the flooring stays with the house. Freestanding range or oven, garage door openers and remote controls, light fixtures, mailbox, media antennas / satellite dishes, outdoor fountains and lighting, outdoor landscaping, for example, shrubbery, trees, and unpotted plants, shutters and awnings, flush-mounted speakers, storage sheds, storm windows and doors, gas log, pellet, and wood-burning stoves, affixed timers, towel, curtain, and drapery rods, wall-mounted TV brackets, and hardware. This one can be a pressure point for some buyers and sellers. Sellers, you can take your fancy TV, but if it's on a wall-mounted bracket, you need to leave that bracket behind for the buyer. Buyers, if you don't want this bracket, you need to write into the contract that you want the bracket removed and any damage repaired. Water misting systems, and window and door screens or sunshades. Additionally, if owned by the seller, the following items are also included in the sale. A fixed alternate power system serving the premises, i.e. solar, in-ground pool and spa / hot tub equipment and covers, including any mechanical or other cleaning systems, security and or fire systems and or alarms, water purification systems, and water softeners. Please note that this list is not exhaustive, but it's a great start. If you're unsure if a particular item is a fixture, your realtor, hopefully that's us, can help you decide. Things like large pieces of artwork or large potted plants can be in the gray area, so it's always a good idea to address this early on. My best advice for sellers is if you have a fixture that you really want to take with you to your new home, like a chandelier that's been in the family for decades or a big built-in piece of artwork, take that down and repair any damage before the home is listed. This won't leave anything open for questions because the item will be gone before the buyer even sees the house. Now let's talk about what items are considered personal property. Now I promise, I'm not going to bore you with a long list of items that are considered personal property, but I do want to quickly touch on a few things that often surprise people. Some items of personal property include refrigerators, washers, dryers, above ground spas / hot tubs including equipment, covers, and any mechanical or other cleaning systems. That's right, sellers, unless otherwise negotiated, you are expected to remove that 20-year-old hot tub from your backyard at your expense before closing. But what about leased items? Leased items can cause even more confusion, but the standard purchase contract in Arizona has got you covered. As a general rule, leased items shall not be included in the sale. The seller is required to deliver notice to the buyer of all leased items within 3 days of contract acceptance. The buyer can provide notice of any leased items they disapprove of during the due diligence period or within 5 days of receiving the seller's notice, whichever is later. So there you have it. I hope this video has shed some light on the difference between fixtures and personal property. If you would like to see how all of this is handled in the residential resale purchase contract, you can click the link in the description box below to receive your sample contract. The information on fixtures and personal property can be found on lines 39 to 67. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that like button, subscribing to our channel, and sharing this video with your friends. See you next Thursday.